Showtime Sean Porter. Please check out Jay Calderon Boxing Talk on YouTube. God bless you.
What's up, y'all? It's Jay Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment, and we're about to get into this week's Boxing Talk. Saturday, July 29th at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Yours truly, Jay Calderon, will be on the scene for one of the biggest fights of the year of 2017. Three-division world champion Mikey Garcia moves up in weight to the 140-pound weight class for just the second time in his career to take on four-division world champion Adrian "The Problem" Broner. This is a fight matchup that I can't wait for because it puts two big-name stars in the sport of boxing in a crossroad fight. You have Adrian Broner, that this is his third opportunity in a big fight. 3 strikes and you're out. Adrian Broner has to win this fight, and he has to look impressive doing it. Can he pull it off? Can he make 140 pounds? I believe he can make the weight. I know before in the past, Adrian Broner has not been disciplined. He hasn't been dedicated to the sport of boxing. He hasn't taken fights seriously. But I believe that this fight right here, Adrian Broner is going to come in the best shape he's ever been. I've been following him and watching videos and seeing that this guy is not taking no shortcuts. He's ready for this fight. He's going to be in great shape. And I believe that he's going to be perhaps one of the best Adrian Broners that we've seen in a very long time. But Mikey Garcia is considered pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world. Mikey comes to fight. He is a true Mexican warrior, and he's going to be coming up into this weight class for the second time. Now, when I saw Mikey Garcia fight at 140 pounds, it was after a 2.5-year layoff, and I really didn't like the way Mikey looked at this weight. You know, I got to be honest. You know, I'm a big Mikey Garcia fan. I've been watching him since his pro debut, watching him rise into the pound-for-pound rankings, and he is an excellent fighter, a great fighter that's a 3-division world champion. You know, he came from the featherweight division up to the junior lightweight division, and recently he just captured the lightweight WBC title. Now he's going to go up into this weight class again. I believe Mikey is strong at the weight, but his best weight is at 135 pounds. You know, he's going up against a bigger man in Adrian Broner, who is very athletic. He has great reflexes, and he has that fast hand speed. He's going to be faster than anybody that Mikey Garcia has been in the ring with. And Broner could pop. He has some good punching power. You know, Mikey has been dropped before, you know, in the ring. And I believe that Mikey is a guy that he gets up from the canvas and he fights even harder. Mikey Garcia is a true champion, you know, the definition of a real warrior in there. And a lot of people love Mikey Garcia because he's a humble kid, and he's a guy that comes into the ring 100%. You know, he trains hard. He has a very good trainer in his brother, Robert Garcia, and his father, Garcia Sr. And these guys have a good strengthened core, and they're a very good, knowledgeable boxing family. And Mikey has a good ring IQ. This guy can mix it up. He can box. He can go toe-to-toe. He's going to be using that jab, and he's going to go to the body as well. But he has a beautiful left hook, and Adrian Broner is going to have to watch out for that left hook because it's a very devastating punch. And he sets up shots with that lead right hand, you know, right down the middle. Adrian Broner likes to have that peekaboo style, having his high guard. You know, if he gets up against the ropes, Garcia's going to go to town with those body shots and come right up top with that uppercut right up the middle. You know, and that's going to be a very big problem for Adrian Broner. Broner has a good chin, a very good chin. You know, we've seen him down against guys like Marcus Modana, but he's a guy that got up and finished the fight. You know, Adrian Broner, which one are we going to see? We're going to see the guy that came and dominated at 130 and 135 pounds. That's the Adrian Broner a lot of people expected to take over the sport of boxing. You know, he was following Mayweather a little bit too much, and people started to dislike him. And I think Adrian Broner is a super talented fighter, but his mind hasn't been right. You know, this fight is going to be, I believe, a fight like Andre Berto versus Victor Ortiz. That type of fight in their first fight. It was an outstanding war between those two fighters. Both men hit the canvas, and they went down to the wire, final 12 rounds, and Victor Ortiz was the one that came out victorious in that fight. And I believe this is the type of fight we're going to see, that both men could possibly hit the canvas in this fight. You know, Mikey has been dropped before, and You know, who's to say Adrian Broner might be the hardest puncher Mikey Garcia has ever faced. I know he's definitely going to be the fastest that he has ever faced before, but Mikey's going to have to really be careful in there against a guy like Adrian Broner. Mikey can hurt Adrian Broner, can put him down to the canvas, but I don't know if he can actually finish him off the way he's finished opponents before. You know, Mikey's not going to lose power moving up to 140 pounds. He's going to be facing a guy that's going to be able to absorb his punches a lot better because Broner is the bigger fighter in there. And Broner will come down at weight and he will match Mikey Garcia. So it's going to be a very close fight. I believe it's an evenly matched fight right now if Broner comes in great condition, which I believe he will, and if he is truly focused on winning this fight. And I think that this fight is going to go down to the 12th and final round. And who's going to win it? You know, these judges nowadays, they are really putting up ridiculous scorecards. We're hoping that these judges do not ruin a great fight because I believe it's going to be one of the best fights of the year. And I think Mikey Garcia will pull out this fight and show that he is pound for pound one of the very best fighters in the world today. But I wouldn't be surprised if Adrian Broner pulls out this victory. And if he does, it'll throw him right back into the mix as a superstar in the sport of boxing because he has created an image, a persona about him. You know, the bad boy of boxing, taking over the Floyd Mayweather mantle as, you know, the guy that everybody loves to hate. You know, Broner brings that to the table. But Broner is no bum. This guy has won titles in 4 weight divisions. I made this comparison a couple of videos back, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me with this, but I just want you to focus on this part right here. Miguel Cotto and Adrian Broner. Let's just look at the people who they beat to win a world title in those different weight divisions. You know, Miguel Cotto, when he captured the 140-pound title, it was against a guy that nobody never heard of before, you know. And then he rose up and he captured a title against Carlos Quintana. And then he won the welterweight title against Michael Jennings of England. You know, these guys, you never even heard of these guys really. You know, Carlos Quintana was a good fighter, but he wasn't a top-level type of fighter. And then he went up to the junior middleweight division and he won the title against Yuri Foreman, a guy that was basically fighting on one leg. Then he went up to the middleweight division and he took on damaged goods Sergio Martinez for his biggest victory win in winning a world title. You know, Adrian Broner has had great opportunities because he's had a very good, powerful manager in the sport of boxing, and that's Haymon. You know, he's gotten these opportunities a lot quicker than guys that have fought their way up, like Miguel Cotto, to get a title shot earned. You know, Adrian Broner just had the opportunity handed to him. Adrian Broner beat guys at 130 pounds that nobody really knew. He then went up to the 135 pounds and beat Antonio DeMarco, and then moved up to the 140-pound weight division and beat the Russian fighter a few years back. You know, these guys wasn't big-name fighters, and he was able to capture these world titles against B-level competition. Then he moved up to 147 pounds, where he beat Paulie Malignaggi, his biggest name to winning a world title. You know, and that fight was very close as well. Some people thought Malignaggi actually won that fight. I didn't. I believe Broner pulled out that victory. But you see what I'm saying right now? The guys that Miguel Cotto and Adrian Broner beat for a world title are guys that wasn't big names. You know, Miguel Cotto separates himself because he's been in the ring as a warrior against all the top fighters. Manny Pacquiao, you know, guys like Canelo Alvarez, Floyd Mayweather. You know, he has a long history list. But he also beat guys like Sugar Shane Mosley and Zab Judah around and near their prime. Miguel Cotto is definitely a Hall of Famer. And Adrian Broner could possibly become a Hall of Famer if he beats a guy like Mikey Garcia. He's still a young fighter. He still has time on his hands to really come up with some big wins in the sport of boxing. I know he's always been about money, but he has to get his mind right and he has to come in correct and utilize his hand speed and his boxing skills, because I believe he has good tools in the toolbox to give Mikey Garcia a lot of problems. But if Mikey got his rhythm going, Mikey could be able to get the pressure on him. You know, he's a different style from Marcus Maidana and also Sean Porter. You know, those guys were able to pressure AB and make it a real tough, ugly looking fight. But Broner, if he's able to get off those shots and not do no pop shots, flashy looking stuff. He has to really let his hands go and unload with those body shots and those uppercuts and let those hands really fly. Then he has a very good chance with a high work rate to overcome whatever Mikey Garcia brings to the table. But I give this fight a very close fight. You know, guys are saying Mikey's going to walk right through this guy, that Adrian Broner's finished. You know, I don't really think so. I think this fight is evenly matched. I give it to Mikey Garcia. I'm rooting for Mikey Garcia, but I give Adrian Broner a chance to win this fight if he becomes the Adrian Broner that we know from the past, that he's a guy that has the athletic skills and the reflexes to really overcome with his hand speed, footwork, and punching power to give Mikey Garcia the toughest fight of his career. I know a lot of people are gonna be rooting for Mikey Garcia. He has a strong fan base in New York City. You know, he's definitely Hispanic, so a lot of Hispanics are gonna be rooting for him. Adrian Broner has a good fan base as well. A lot of guys like him, a lot of guys hate him, but he's definitely gonna have to come up and show out in this fight if he expects to win and have a chance against Mikey Garcia, you know, to pull out a big victory and an upset, because he is the underdog in this fight. But I would like to thank everyone for tuning in to this video right here, Jay Calderon Boxing Talk on YouTube. Please hit that little red subscribe button. Put your email information in so you get all my notifications once I drop a new video. Also, follow me on Instagram and on Twitter, and join the Facebook boxing group page, Jay Calderon Boxing Talk. I'm Jay Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment. Thanks for your support. Keep watching, and please subscribe.